Sí, estamos aquí con la maestra, señora Hunt, de la maestra de español, honores 344 de Horizon High School. Y bueno, esta es la entrevista para la clase y le voy a hacer unas preguntas. Y bueno, maestra, buenos días, ¿cómo está?
Buenos días, muy bien.
Well, I guess these questions are in English, so what are some important things for me to know about my student that could assist me?
So for me, what's important for me to know is usually when I get my class lists in August, I like to know as much information about the students as I can. So I go through and I look at who they are, what school they went to. I look at their transcripts, if they have any special needs, and that just kind of helps me to know what kind of class I have. For Spanish, I look at also if it's a 3-4 honors class, I look at how they did in 1-2 and make sure they're placed appropriately. That's what I like to do. Some teachers don't like to know that much information,
Okay.
and they prefer just to go in and learn about it. Then it's always important to know if they have any special needs, any like vision issues. If they're taking all honors classes, it helps you to know what kind of student it is.
Okay, gracias.
And then what advice could I offer you on how to get the best from your students in the classroom? I think it's the most important thing is to have high expectations. The students will reach whatever level of expectation you put on them. So if you have high expectations, then you'll be able to get the best out of your students.
Okay. And how do you feel are important goals that I should have for my students and myself?
So for the goals for the students, for teaching a language like Spanish, you want to make sure that they can speak, they can read, they can listen and understand, they can write, and then they know culture. So you want to make sure that they're well-rounded students, not just that they can do grammar. And sometimes it's harder as a teacher to teach the speaking and the reading and the writing. It's a lot easier to just do the grammar. But I'd say as a goal for you, think of grammar as a tool to be able to do all those other things.
Okay. And what strategies are helpful for engaging kids?
For engaging kids, one of the biggest things is get them to learn and to use their minds. So worksheets are good practice, but I found that doing projects or giving them meaningful activities really helps them to be engaged.
Okay. And what classroom management strategies or approaches have you found to be effective or ineffective?
So for effective classroom management strategies, make sure that desk location where students are seated is a big one, and make sure that you move students around that aren't participating or that are getting distracted. That's big. Making sure that they know that you're the boss and that you know if you say different things like you need to do this, you need to do that, it's better to show them with actions. So instead of you need to listen, you need to stop and make sure that they're listening instead of just saying listen.
Okay. So
Follow through and being able to figuring out who the ones are that are causing the biggest problems and talk to them aside of class.
Mm-hmm.
What have I found that's been ineffective? Ooh, lots. And I've made every single mistake in the book. Letting the students control the class that's an ineffective strategy, and I've done it many times. So making sure that you stay in control and you're controlling what's happening. A good effective classroom management is having good plans and working from bell to bell.
Yeah.
If you have engaging activities, that helps a lot.
Have you ever raised your voice at a kid in classroom?
Yes. Not that much, but I try to do it outside, like pull them aside, but I've definitely lost it before. Not very often, but I have.
What helps motivate kids to work hard?
Well, I think what motivates kids to work hard is when they see that there's a purpose in learning Spanish, that it's not just I'm doing this to get the grade, to get on to the college, or to do what. It's when they see that they can use Spanish and it can be engaging and working like a real life activity, and that'll benefit them in the future.
Okay. What suggestions do you have for building strong relationships with students and staff?
I'd say listen to the students because they'll talk to you. Same thing with staff. Always be ready to listen, and encouraging and to be encouraging.
And how do you build a classroom community?
I build classroom community by having students do a lot of small group activities, either pairs or groups of 4 cooperative learning, and then by making sure that students don't laugh at each other, but that they're supportive and encouraging to each other.
Okay. And I like it also how you form the familias,
Mm-hmm.
the groups, and that you're calling you familias.
Yeah.
And you're in charge, and they in charge of knowing each other's names.
Yeah.
And because that makes them accountable for
Yep. Mm-hmm.
knowing whether or not they're
Yep.
in school.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's all I have, maestra.
Okay.
So, gracias.
Sí, de nada.